Hello students, welcome to all of you. And today we will discuss case study number 24, and this case study is basically based on the provisioning norms. Clear? Provisioning norms. Clear? Basically, as students are facing many doubts regarding the provisioning, so basically we will take the data of 1st of October 2021. Clear? As this data is not changed with the respect to the previous data. Clear? In circular, basically this data is same as basically the data present in your book. Clear? So there is no issue regarding that. Clear? So let's discuss this case study. Basically this case study is simply basically we will discuss very basic case study on the provisioning, so that we will expect 1 or 2 marks numerical on that, basically what we have discussed, what we have to discuss today. Clear? So before moving towards the case study, let's discuss some basic concept regarding that. Clear? And only after that we are able to solve the question. Clear? Asset classification. Clear? Asset classification. So basically banks are required. Asset basically classification of what? Non-performing assets. Clear? Non-performing assets. Clear? So banks are required basically to classify non-performing assets. Clear? Banks are required basically to classify non-performing assets further into the following 3 categories. Clear? Basically they have to specify basically non-performing asset basically into how many categories? Basically into the 3 categories. Clear? For which the asset remained non-performing. Clear? Basically into the 3 categories based on into the following 3 categories basically based on the period. Clear? Basically based on the period for which the asset. Clear? Basically based on the period for which the asset has remained non-performing. Clear? Basically for which the asset has remained non-performing and the realizability of the dues. Clear? So basically what are these 3 classifications? First one is the substandard assets, second one is the doubtful assets, and third one is the loss assets. Clear? So basically what are these 3 assets? First one is the substandard assets, second one is the doubtful assets, and third one is the loss asset. Clear? Third one is the loss asset. Clear? So let's discuss regarding that. Clear? Basically how much is the provisioning required? Clear? Basically how much is the provisioning required? Clear? And I think hope it is clear to all of you basically what is substandard asset, what is doubtful asset. Clear? I expect it is clear to all of you. So basically I will just simply explain what are substandard asset. Basically substandard asset are those assets which remain in the NPA period. Clear? Basically which remain in the NPA period for less than or equal to 12 months. Clear? For less than or equal to 12 months, that are basically known as the substandard asset. Clear? That is basically known as the substandard asset. Clear? Next one is basically the doubtful asset. Clear? Basically the doubtful asset. Clear? Basically that has remained NPA. That has basically remained NPA basically for more than 1 year. Clear? That is basically remained NPA, or we can say that that has remained in the substandard category. Clear? That asset basically that has remained in the substandard category. Clear? Basically for a period of 12 months. Clear? For a period of 12 months. We can say that this is basically for less than 12 months, less than 12 months. And this is basically we can say that for a period of 12 months in the doubtful asset. Clear? In the doubtful asset is the doubtful asset. Clear? Next one is the loss asset. Clear? Loss asset is basically is considered uncollectible. Clear? Loss asset basically it is considered uncollectible and of such little value. Clear? And of such little value that its continence as a bankable asset is not warranted. Clear? That its continence as a bankable asset is not warranted, although there may be some salvage or recovery value. Clear? Although there may be some salvage or recovery value. Clear? Like we can say that if we an asset of 10 crore. Clear? If we an asset of 10 crore, and out of the 10 crore, if we get only 10 lakh, clear, 10 lakh or 1 lakh, clear. So that is basically it is considered to be as like one loss asset. Clear? It is considered to be like one loss asset. Clear? So now let's discuss the provisioning. Loss asset. Clear? Basically loss assets should be written off. Clear? Loss assets should be written off if loss assets are permitted to remain in the books. Clear? If loss assets basically are permitted to remain in the books for any specific reason, then 100% of the outstanding should be provided for. Clear? 100% provisioning. Clear? Or we can say that 100% of the outstanding should be provided for that asset. Next one here is to be Doubtful asset. Clear. Next asset which we have to discuss here is to be doubtful asset. Clear. Doubtful asset, basically that asset remained in the substandard category for 12 months. So directly I will take these points from the circular. So basically 100% in the case of doubtful asset, 100% of the extent basically provisioning is required to which the advance is not covered by the realizable value, clear, of the security, to which the bank has a valid recourse, and the realizable value is to be estimated on a realistic basis. Clear. 100% of the extent to which the advance is not covered by the realizable value of the security, clear, to which the bank has a valid recourse, and the realizable value is estimated on a realistic basis. Clear. In regard to the secured position, clear, basically where we will expect security has a proper value. Clear. In regard to the secured position, provision may be made on the following basis. Clear. At the rates of ranging from 25% to 100% of the secured portion. This you have to remember basically of what? Of the secured portion, depending upon the period which the asset has remained doubtful. Clear. Depending upon the period, basically if unscored then it is 100%, if it is scored then it is basically on that. Clear. Period for which the advance has remained in the doubtful category. Clear. Provisioning requirement up to 1 year. Clear. If the asset is to be in the doubtful category for up to 1 year, then how much provisioning is to be required? Then it is basically 25%. Clear. In that case, basically how much provisioning is to be required? That is a 25%. Clear. Next one basically which we have to understand here is to be 1 to 3 years. Clear. If the asset is to be remain in the category basically 1 to 3 years. Clear. Basically 1 to 3 years. Then basically in the doubtful category, then it's 40% provisioning of basically provisioning of the secured portion. You have to remember that. If it is more than 3 years in the doubtful category, then 100% provisioning is required. Clear. 100% provisioning is required. So what is the meaning of provisioning? Like if you are giving a loan of 10 lakh and the person remain in the doubtful category. Clear. Loan is secured by the property and the person becomes NP. Means that loan is not paid. Clear. So basically, and it is in the doubtful category basically for 1 to 3 years. Clear. Basically for 2 years. So how much provisioning? Clear. Basically how much amount? Basically bank has to take from its profit and loss account basically 40% of the value. Clear. 40% of 10 lakh. That is 4 lakh. Clear. That is basically provisioning. Clear. Doubtful asset we have already discussed. Up to 1 year 25%, 1 to 3 years 40%, and more than 3 years it is to be 100%. Clear. More than 3 years it is to be 100%. Clear. You have to remember basically these values. Next one is substandard assets. Clear. Substandard assets. Clear. Substandard assets basically we have to discuss two things basically for the secured. Clear. A general provision of 15% on total outstanding should be made without making any allowance for ECGC guarantee cover and securities available. Clear. And securities available. Clear. General provision of 15%. Clear. The unsecured exposures which are identified as a substandard. Clear. Which are identified as a substandard basically would attract additional provision of 10%, a total of 25%. Clear. Basically a total of 25%. Clear. Basically in this, when it is securities available, it is to be 15%, and if it is unsecured exposure which are identified as substandard attract an additional 10%, then it is to be basically 25% of the outstanding balance. Clear. Next one basically the provisioning required for unsecured doubtful assets. Clear. The provisioning required for unsecured doubtful asset is to be 100%. Clear. 100%. Clear. And what is the meaning of unsecured exposure? Clear. Basically in the previous slide we have discussed one word, unsecured exposure. So what is the meaning of unsecured exposure? So unsecured exposure basically it is defined as an exposure. Clear. Unsecured exposure basically it is defined as an exposure where the realizable value of the security. Clear. Where the realizable value of the security as assessed by the bank or approved valuers or Reserve Bank inspecting officers is not more than 10%. Clear. Where the value of the security is not more than 10%. Clear. Or we can say that less than 10%. Clear. Less than 10%. That is basically known as unsecured exposure. Clear. That is basically known as unsecured exposure, and in that provisioning is 25%. Clear. it is not more than 10% ab initio of the outstanding exposure. Clear? Of the outstanding exposure. Clear? And here exposure basically shall include all funded and non-funded exposures. Clear? You have to remember that basically in exposure, not it is only fund based, it also include non-fund based. Clear? Non-funded exposure. Clear? This is very, very important for examination point of view. Clear? Security will be mean tangible security. Clear? Tangible security properly charged to the bank and will not include intangible securities like guarantees. Clear? So you have to remember that securities basically mean the tangible securities, and exposure basically it includes fund based and non-fund based both. Clear? So now let's discuss basically one case study, simple case study. On the basis of that, we will understand these concepts. So let's start. Basically one case study basically based on the below given data of a bank's branch as on 31st March 2017. Clear? And the data it is in lakhs. Clear? Basically answer the following question. Clear? Basically this is the data. These are basically 8 accounts. Clear? Account 1, account 2, account. So basically we have to discuss 8 questions on the basis of that. This is the balance and this is the security amount. This is the NPA date. Clear? This is the NPA date. So first question, what is the provision required against account A1? So first of all, account A1, basically we have to check with respect to that. So this is basically less than 6 months. Clear? Less than 6 months time. So basically A1 is a substandard. A1 is a substandard account. So what is the provisioning? So basically we have already understood that in the substandard account, basically we are provisioning 15% for the secured and 25% for the unsecured. Clear? Basically 25% for the unsecured. So here we have total 120 balance, 120 lakhs we have to left paying, we have to pay 120 lakh. Clear? Out of that basically 40 lakh has security. So basically unsecured 80 lakh, secured 40 lakh. So basically provisioning for that it is to 15% and provisioning for that it is to be 25%. Clear? So we have to do that. 25% of 80 plus 15% of 40. When we will do that, this is 4, this is 5, this is 1, this is 5. So 20 plus 2, this is 5, this is 1, this is 3. So 26 lakh. Clear? Basically provision required against account A1, that is 26 lakh. Clear? Basically provision required account A1 is to be 26 lakh. Clear? So basically what we have to do, first of all, basically you have to just remember these values and you have to able to understand basically account it is in substandard category or doubtful asset. Clear? You have to remember that also. Clear? So now move to the next question. Question number 2. What the question number 2 says that? Clear? Basically what is the provision required against account A2? Clear? A2. So basically this is in year 2014. So this is 2017. Clear? Basically we can say that 2015, 2016. Clear? 2. It is basically approximate equal to 2.5 years. Basically we can say that it is basically approximate equal to 2.5 years. Clear? So basically we have already discussed up to 1 year 25%, 1 to 3 years basically this we can say doubtful 1, doubtful 2, doubtful 3. Clear? This is basically under doubtful category 2, 1 to 3 years. 40% provisioning is to be required. Clear? 40% provisioning is to be required. 40% provisioning of basically what? Of secured. And for unsecured 100%. So basically 100 total. For 60 have security. Clear? 60 is basically secured. So basically we have 40% provisioning for that, and unsecured basically 40 plus 40. So basically we have to provision for 100%. Clear? This is to 40. This is to be 3, 5, 1, 8. 24 plus 40. 64 lakhs. Clear? So basically in this provisioning is to be 64 lakh. Clear? Hope it is clear to all of you. Provisioning in this case it is to be 64 lakh. Clear? Hope it is clear to all of you basically what we are going to understand. So now I think it is clear to all of you basically Here is to 160, it is to be 80. Here also, the time is basically 1 to 3 years. So same concept. For unsecured, it is to be 100%. And for secured, it is to be 40%. So basically secured amount here is to be 80. So basically 80, we can say that, and unsecured is to be 80. Total 160. Clear? So basically 40 upon 100 into 80 plus 80 lakhs directly. This is 4, this is 5, this is 1, this is 8. 32 plus 80. I am right here. Question number 3rd. Clear? 40%. I think it is to be basically what is the provisioning against account A3. Clear? Basically unsecured amount 80 and balance is to be 160. Security is 80. So basically we have said that security is 80. 2015, 2016, 20. So that is basically, I think there is some issue in the answer. It is to basically 80 plus 32, 112 lakh. Clear? It is to basically 112 lakh. Clear? Because, wait a minute, the count is, I think there is some issue. The account is NP date is 3625. Clear? So till 36 2016, this account is to be substandard. Clear? This account is to be substandard, and after that it comes under the doubtful category. Clear? So it is basically comes under the D1. Clear? Basically comes under the D1. Clear? Because it is under the substandard category till 30th June 2016. Clear? After that it comes under doubtful asset. Clear? Basically how many time, basically how much time it is under doubtful asset, basically we can say that 9 months. Clear? 9 months. So basically it comes under the D1 category. Clear? D1 category. So we will take here wrong. That's why I think there is some issue. Clear? It comes under the D1 category. Clear? Because till that much time it is under the substandard category. Clear? It is under the substandard category. Clear? So now basically we can say that provisioning here it is to be 25% of 80 plus 100% of that. 120. So total 100 lakh. Clear? 100 lakh it is the provisioning amount here is to be required. Clear? 100 lakh it is the provisioning amount here is to be required. Next one. What is the provision required against account A4? Clear? Now basically account A4. So basically this is substandard account. Already this is substandard account. I think it is clear to all of you why substandard, because NP is it is in August and this is March. Only 7 months for NP. So provisioning for that unsecured. If it is unsecured, then it is to be 25%, and if it is to be secured, then it is to be 15%. So total 120. Secured is 100. So 15 upon 100 plus unsecured is 20. So 25% of 20. So what we can say that here, 15% of basically what? 100. This is to be 15 plus, we can say that cancel out 1, 5 plus 5. So it is 20 lakh. Clear? Basically in this case, 20 lakh is the provisioning. Clear? So this is the answer. Clear? So this is to be the answer. Clear? So it is, you have to understand all the concept very carefully while giving the answer. Clear? While giving the answer. Now move to the account A5. Clear? Now move to the account A5. So basically A5 balance is 150. Securities, all total amount securities available. And this account NP is on 31st July 2013. Clear? So till 2014, it is under the substandard. 2015, 16 till 31st July 2017, it is under the doubtful category D2. Clear? Doubtful category D2. Clear? Doubtful category D2. Clear? Because In this basically till 20, let me once again, this one is NPA date till 1 year substandard. After that it is D1, D2, D3, clear? Till 31st D1. After that it is to be D2 category, clear? D2 category. So under D2 category, basically for the secured, it is to be 40%, for unsecured, it is to be 100%. So basically it is secured. So basically 40% provisioning is required, clear? Amount is 150 because there is no unsecured portion. This is to be 2, this is to 5, 1, 3, 0. 60 lakh provisioning is required in that case, clear? 60 lakh provisioning is required in that case, clear? Hope this question is clear to all of you, clear? Hope this question is clear to all of you. Next, move to the next question, question number 6. Question number 6. So account is NP on 31st March, sorry, 31st October 2015, clear? Here we will not able to think over that because here security is 0. So 100% provisioning is required, clear? 100% provisioning is required because the account number 6 comes under the doubtful asset, clear? Comes under the doubtful asset. So basically whatever is the balance, this is our provisioning, clear? So this is the answer, clear? There is no security is to be available. Okay, so 160 is the answer, clear? Hope all these questions are clear to all of you, and we will expect basically these are basic understanding of the provisioning concept, clear? Next, move to the next question, question number 7. So basically this account NP is on 30th August 2014. So till 30th August 2015, it is under substandard, and 2016 D1. This is basically D2 account. 40% secured, 40 into 120 upon 100 plus 100, that is 80. This is 2, this is 5, this is 1, this is 24. 48 plus 80. This is basically total 128 lakhs, clear? Total 128 lakhs. So this is the answer, clear? So this is the answer. Hope all these questions are clear to all of you. Now move to the last question of this case study, clear? So basically what is the provision required against account 8, clear? Against account 8, clear? So basically this account comes under the D1 category. So D1 category, for secured it is to be 25% provisioning, and for unsecured it is to be 100%. Secured is 140, so 140 into 25 upon 100, and unsecured is 40, so we will add directly. So 7, 5, 1, 5, 35 plus 40, it is to be 75 lakhs, clear? It is to be 75 lakhs, clear? So this is the answer, clear? This is the answer, clear? Hope all these questions are clear to all of you regarding the basic understanding of the provisioning, clear? Regarding the basic understanding of the provisioning, clear? So basically what you have to understand, basically you have to understand basically regarding the NPA date, clear? And after that, clear? And after that you have to find the category under which category the account comes, clear? Under which category the account comes, clear? And if the account is unsecured, no security, in the doubtful category, clear? So then it is basically 100% provisioning. And in the case of substandard, if the account is to be secured, then it is 15% provisioning. And if the account is to be comes under the unsecured, then it is to be 25% provisioning, clear? So basically one thing basically we have to left in this session regarding the provisioning of the standard accounts, clear? Standard accounts, clear? So basically which we will discuss in the form of case study, clear? In the next case study, clear? We will explain you regarding that also, clear? So hope this concept is clear to all of you. So thanks to all of you for watching this session, and I request all of you, please subscribe our YouTube channel and join our Telegram group. So thanks to all of you for watching this video.